I thought I would come talk EBT knowledge, EBT knowledge a little bit real quick because I just feel led to do it, okay? Because it's like you still have all this fear looming, and we've taught this before. Fear only festers and resides where there's not knowledge, right? When God said, "My people perish due to lack of knowledge," that's a part of what He meant, I'm sure. Like, the only way you're gonna lack knowledge if you just stay in a place of fear of obtaining more, if you ask me. But we must be knowledgeable about these things. Now, first of all, this is what I meant to say, because I slowed down to think about it, and people probably don't know. But I'm not gonna fault them for that. They probably just don't know. Like, they think this is a program you just sign up for, and they turn them on, and people do whatever they want to. Not the truth about EBT. So we finna talk about it a little bit for real, y'all, because it's just, I don't want to call it like EBT education, but kind of this is kind of like that kind of strength. EBT education, we can call it that for tonight, because people feel like all they need to know, well, all I need to know is the food program and people get free food. Like, bro, it's way more to it than that. It just is. Because food stamp education fact number one, you have to meet, it always been like this. Like, with certain government programs, you have to be qualified through things like income, right? Like, if you're not low income, you're not gonna get food stamps. There's some people that just simply have and always will and probably will in the future make too much money to qualify for food stamps. It's always been like that. So I just had to get that part out the way. That's education fact number one. If you make too much money, you were never gonna qualify. Even because there was some people that's like, oh, they keep telling me I make too much money, but they don't never think about like what are your bills, what are your utilities. They do ask, don't get it twisted. I'm talking about the applicants. They don't always understand, like, they not just looking at how much you make. They might ask, well, how much do you cover in utilities? How many people do you care for? That's why those questions are asked. And sometimes they'll see that all of that and still say you make too much. You be trying to show them, like, I know you think I make too much, but look how quick my money be going after even with a job or two jobs. Because they'll make you submit, quote unquote, proof of income. That's a part of the application process when you even first apply for EBT. That's how that always went. And when they say income, they talking about everything. Like, if you got bank accounts, assets, let me keep going. If you getting gifts and contributions, if you won a lottery ticket, yeah. I mean, at that time, if you earn any of that income, usually they want to know what income did you have in the past 30 days. Like, right when you doing the application, oh yeah, they gonna ask you that. Now that's your business if you lie, or if a person choose to lie. But it's also gonna have that disclaimer on there at the beginning of the EBT application. It's gonna say, if we catch you lying on her about any of your income, household members, any of that. So that's a whole nother part of it. And it's crazy, the same ones talking about what they gonna do when they cut the food stamps off. Probably done ate at Thanksgiving houses of the people that spent their Thanksgiving food with, how they think they got the Thanksgiving food, some of these households. And you stop by there and got a plate over the years. So I don't know. I just think everybody has a right to their opinion. But I do want to be a part of that number out here that is raising awareness about what this. I'm just amazed at how many people don't even really know what they're talking about. And that's understandable if you never in your evergreen life ever had to receive them or know somebody who received them, but you don't even understand the application process. Because they got workers that'll help you do that. Or you come into an office, they would always help you sign up if you need help doing that. Like, you just struggling with the application for some reason. If you don't understand what you need to turn in, why you need to turn it in, what the deadline is, they will help you understand it. That's the point of, you know what I'm saying, them being there to assist those people at those offices when people go sign up. I don't know if people didn't know that, but this is still an informational segment in case they do get cut back home. Then people know. It was never for those who make too much money or so that ain't my business. That's on that part, you know what I'm saying? But if you qualify, and I don't know why people thought just because you have kids is why people was qualifying. No, 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 sweetie. It's a household member thing. Just like on your taxes, it's going to ask what kind of status or you had a household, whoop, whoop, whoop. Same thing with benefits, any type of government benefit. It always matters when it comes to the household. Why do you think it's the household the devil attacks so much lately? You could tell something going on with the economy. What's going to always be a red flag indicator? Uptick and increase in household issues suddenly. And households been having issues. It's just that I guess during the age of technology, more is like some argue that this stuff been going on and more just getting exposed. Others are saying no, some of this stuff has gotten worse. Like it have nothing to do with the internet or who's exposing what. It wasn't as bad. Some things have gotten worse, especially why am I talking about households? Because most of the questions set up for these EBT benefits and stuff to begin with are questions about your household. How can you leave that part of the conversation out of the topic? When you talk about EBT education real quick, it's going to ask you about your household, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody in the world, unfortunately, does not live in your household. So that's between you and the government. Any beneficiaries that were beneficiaries or might be in the future. And now people are going to understand that better too. That's your business between you and the government. Like, when did it start getting so open that who get food stamps and what they doing with them? But I'm finna get deeper in the topic, because another thing is, if people was getting help with their kids like that, why would you have 41.2 million people on food stamps? Statistics don't lie, do they? They was saying as of this year, that's how many people, 40 something. I forgot the exact percent, but it was in the 40s, 40 point something million Americans. That's a lot of people. So that's a lot of people, but that's a lot of kids if you think about it. That's not even talking about the kids. That's just talking about how many actual households were beneficiaries. Okay, that's number one. Now you got to break that number down some more, because out of that 40-something million people, some of them are working people, and that's a fact. I mean, are people doing their research? It's like they just spewing out, yeah, what the women and children gonna do? And some people said that's like a predatory comment to even be throwing it out there on the internet. Like, what do you mean? Martin Luther King and other leaders back in the day would never say nothing like that. They was actually showing that they cared about what was going on with the people in society at that time, with the law, with people's rights, and all of that. And I'm not saying, I don't know if we're being challenged in this way again, but guess what? It's a good time to remind people. We did have periods in our country where there were people who had their own families to really worry about and think about every day, like Martin Luther King, but still, you know what I'm saying, put his voice on the front line just to be able to help others. And he died doing that. He died in the midst of doing it. Not that he was advocating for government benefits. I'm just saying. And I used him for an example because, yes, that was a black man. But out of those 40-something million Americans on EBT, the fact we're talking about EBT education is not everybody on it. Not everybody that was receiving those benefits are black. It's just so crazy how they trying to mix in every narrative. And you sure? How much battery you got? 12%. This one charged fast though. I promise, in like 10 minutes. I don't know how I'd be supercharging like that. Thank you. I'll bring you right back. It just came to me because it's a fact. Like, there's just been other leaders, civil rights leaders, and silver leaders of all kinds that just, I don't think they mindset at a time like this would be just sitting back watching who's suffering, who fall, and smiling and snickering about it in the background. That's weird, especially if it's an impact that's going to affect more than one household. And it just goes back to that naturally. Like, first of all, why he's like, yeah, we need to kick these people off of benefits. That's so stupid to me, bro. And let me tell you why too, because I've been like reflecting on this for a minute. When people have child support orders, if you go through those orders, a lot of times, if the mother is receiving benefit, let's say she's been receiving benefits, that's just a part of it. And they keep trying to like take this blame out on women or something. And you just can't do that, because it's not just women who make a baby. And if you're not aware of that, you shouldn't even be out here having sex. It makes no sense. Like, it just doesn't. It don't matter what age you are. You just shouldn't be doing it if you don't understand that a woman ain't never made a baby by herself, bro. But so where they little flying monkey comments be coming from on the internet talking about yeah, what the mothers and children gonna be stealing, like, and as men you just gonna sit back and watch, because people watching it, you know. I guess they trying to make it like, well, the married people gonna be okay. Stupid. The married people don't have nothing to worry about because they have 2 incomes in the household. Okay, but this the same country that it was 100% legal for people to have as many kids as they want. It ain't like we was like these other countries where they have a limit of how many kids you can have in a household. Of course, if America was like that, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. Because if the rule was people could only have 2 or 3 kids, like some countries is, you wouldn't even have as big of households. I mean, that's just a freedom right that people had. And unfortunately, because I think all babies have, but guess what? Not everybody thinks that way, and they feel like if you have, I can't believe some people still living in that mindset, like, oh, you got too many kids, that's the problem. Like, no, kids were actually a part of your symbol of wealth at one point in time. People understood this. Like, the more kids you had, the more people you had to pass down things to and help carry on inheritance and legacy and the land or whatever it is the family had tied to their name. Kids is not a bad thing. You had more people to help continue on the family business and stuff like that. But now they want to make it look like, well, all the kids are just a burden. I knew it was some kind of weird attack. It just seemed like towards the younger generations. It's just weird because maybe they are the ones that will stand up, or they have a calling. People be talking about 1 and 2 people have a calling, a few people got a calling. The Bible says many have a calling, many are called, few are chosen. The calling part, though, I do see that with this new generation. Like, yeah, say what you want about them, they crazy, they too spoiled, whatever, but they also are not afraid to speak up for themselves. I've noticed that. About things over the generations people have stayed silent about just for too long, if you ask me. That's exactly why we're here now. Because now it's being exposed, everybody has this whole total different opinion and perception suddenly about EBT. That's strange. That's all I'm saying. That's just a little strange. Shout out to you guys out there in the chat. We appreciate your support. Please remember to subscribe if you're new to our channel. We welcome new subscribers every day. Also, feel free to tune in to previously recorded inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics in our short comments. Maybe you can tune in there for a little while, come back over here on the live, however you want to do it. And also feel free to share if anything I end up saying on my stream, relates to you in any kind of way, or you agree, feel free to share it. Because, like, I saw that updated news. That's what inspired this topic. That it's like more states, I guess they're deciding to go ahead and step out. The last article I saw, it was like 22 states so far. People just want to at least attempt to fight back. Like, hey, we want to, it looked like there's attempting to sue the Food Administration. That's just new updated news. I just saw that one tonight. States coming together like, hey, no, we want to speak up about this. We want to have a say so. I think that's what it said, though. Like, they're actually trying to sue them because that's crazy. You have people just running around here in fear and worried about what's going to happen. Like, no other preparation before that because all I saw them talking about was possibly banning quote unquote sugary snacks and stuff like that. Was the last update I had saw before this right here. Okay, so suddenly, okay, well, the government can't come to a conclusion. The government is shut down. That's what I was reminding people too. They might be struggling with fear about all of this because it ain't like the government haven't had a shutdown before. This is just what happens until they meet deliberations and stuff. Meet in the middle about funding. Yeah, this is what happens. The government shuts down. So it's more than just EBT being affected right now. We're talking about the education right now about what's going on. Way more than EBT. They talking about the air traffic controllers, all these other people that need to be paid. Military and federal workers. It's affecting a lot of people. And before this was even happening, they were saying people was being laid off. I'm just trying to keep up the news. It's just as frequent as it flows. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to catch every news article where I can, you know what I'm saying, try to give my reaction and commentary to everything as it happens. But this is a fact. It's not the first time the government's been shut down on it. People paying stuff was on hold for a minute. Now they are counting the days as far as how long it's been happening this time, to my understanding. They're going to do that every time. That's like history making every time. Did it take 2 weeks? Did it take a month? Did it take 2 months for them to come together and come to some agreement? Because that's what we're looking at here. But in the meantime, they was trying to just go ahead. I thought that was strange, though. It was like brace people, prepare people. Hey, just in case it doesn't open back up. That's this news that we're seeing right now. Just in case the government doesn't open back up within the first week of November, they were telling people go ahead and prepare. Because, you know, a lot of people probably do get their EBT deposits within the first week of the month, don't they? That's why they already telling people at the end of October. And even as this is going on, it's just crazy. Like, you got people worried about we're finna go spend $200 on costumes and stuff. But to each their own. I'm like, I'm not telling people don't celebrate Halloween, but it's like right after Halloween, the very next day, that's when they saying these cuts could seem very real to people, like November 1st. That's the day after Halloween, just so happened. I don't know. That's when they was saying people should expect change. I think they chose that date because, like I said, it's a brand new month. We also know the first of the month is still when rent is due for everybody. But I'm just saying, I know there's some people out there that are used to getting their EBT deposits at the beginning of the month. But, you know, people can get them, up to the 15th, I think I heard. If it still works like that, I don't know if it's still the same. But they usually get their deposits from the 1st to the 15th. So trust me, we'll know what's really going on for sure. Because some people get theirs on the 1st, the 2nd. And just imagine celebrating Halloween all night. And then you got to go back to reality, November 1st. Like, it's just strange to think about. Or I don't see nothing wrong with that either. Like, people like, no, this not finna kill our spirit. We finna still go celebrate, whatever. Okay, well, you got the next holiday. Which is Thanksgiving right after that. And Thanksgiving break, everybody's kids is at home because I saw on the news, they was like, yeah, don't worry, we got substitute food programs. All the kids still gonna eat at school. So I was great. I was happy to see that update too, just to like, I don't know if other people was concerned or worried about that. Cause I was like, what about the kids that get free and reduced lunch because they get EBT? Like, how do these changes and it just being shut off for a minute affect other programs? That's what I'm saying. But from what I'm saying, yep, most school districts saying, yep, we're gonna still cover food. That's what I saw so far as updates. I said, okay, well, that's great. But see, you have Christmas, Thanksgiving breaks, spring breaks, and stuff like that in people families. This is a fact. And school has always been like this. And where are the kids when those breaks happen? They're at home for weeks at a time sometimes. So I think Thanksgiving break is just 1 week. But as we know, Christmas break, that's like 2.5 weeks. Ain't it? Christmas break, they don't come back to school till the new year. That's usually how that works. Okay, so that's great to hear they're going to be eating there. Then you got to think of solutions of how you're helping families at home. Hopefully, since they said they're preparing so much, how are they still, how are families? Because I think a lot of schools would do turkey drives. Y'all know how that is during Thanksgiving break and Christmas. I think they do toy drives, food drives. Because I'm just thinking back when I was in school, they definitely used to do that. Like, you could get extra points on your grade or something. You bring in canned goods, drop them off at the office during November month. I think they would usually start it like October. The end of October, they start doing food drives. The class they bring in the most canned goods to donate to families. Right? They might win a pizza party or something. They definitely. We probably. That's what I'm saying. I know they have drives before this was happening, but how much more are the people gonna have to do? It's some restaurants in some states, y'all. It's beautiful to see. They have chosen to like just kind of start. It's crazy, like donating food, like letting people come in there and get food, and this stuff ain't even started yet. Cause I said, wow, I guess I never thought about it, but some of these chain retailers, they could. I was speaking on it. I was just saying that food they throw away at the end of the night, maybe more that could start being contributed to like food bank centers. Because really they just throw that away. It's some kind of food regulation law or something. Like they can't keep it in the kitchen past a certain time, right? At food retailers like restaurants, but grocery stores, they have always been known to try to donate stuff before they throw it away. Said, well, maybe when it comes to the education of this, it was just needed too. A lot of people on it would be shocked at certain changes. I guess if they just didn't know, like, I don't know, because I was speaking on the stream earlier how I think people didn't know you can only be on it so long. If you research that in your state, they have time limits. They've always had time limits. Like, you have to read the rules of the program. And those rules change every year. It was already doing it before the government was shut down. This the only reason it's going on right now. That's what I'm telling people. What a fine time to give your opinions and expressions about how you feel about the people on food stamps. That's crazy. I told people this ain't new. This always been in people's hearts. Whatever you hear them saying right now about people on food stamps. Period. That's why you can see strangers looking at what you're buying. They'll just look at your basket. They'll pass by you and stare at your basket. I've been stopped really shopping, grocery shopping, like going in person. I was so happy when they came out with like pretty much food delivery apps, if you will. DoorDash, Uber Eats. People think Walmart the only delivery. No, you got Instacart. I forgot the name of the other one. Grubhub. It's so many of those these days. It's another one called Post something, Post. They deliver food. All I said is I was happy when any of them started doing it because I was already feeling like that. Like, you just got tired. It didn't even have to be that you were finna pay with food stamps all the time. Like, I think if people just naturally see you with kids, them kids could be your whole niece or nephews or cousins, or you could be babysitting. They gonna assume they're your kids, which 9 times out of 10 they are our kids. But they would assume that in the grocery stores and just be looking at your basket. My mother, if I remember correctly, like she might have took us grocery shopping with her sometimes. I do understand parents that prefer to do that type of shopping alone, Because it could turn into you went in there with a grocery list and you done brought the kids with you and you done went way over. I'm not ashamed of it. I could say that, I've had experiences with it, probably more than others. So everybody shop differently. Just because you seen them going to the store, they probably didn't take their kids for any reason. Like, if you're trying to stick to the grocery list and not go over and under it, maybe you don't bring them shopping with you that day. I think that's smart. You know what I'm saying? But we finna get back to the predatory behavior anyway that people was probably experiencing, and it's just coming out. They was already experiencing it, just being beneficiaries of government benefits. That's to me, that's been happening since it got more exposed during the pandemic for sure. Because you had even mailmen and stuff stealing stimulus checks. It was on the news. Call themselves trying to do that, because what you gonna do with somebody else check, bro? It was just stupid and embarrassing to see, like secondhand embarrassment. Like secondhand embarrassment, like people was stealing from each other. That didn't stop during the pandemic. What I'm trying to tell people, it just seemed that's always an unfortunate part of when the masses of people is going through something. You always gonna have those groups of people saying, okay, where can I take it advantage? Where can I, like, pretty much that's what they ask themselves. Where can I make money off of this crisis? It's a weak way to think. It's different if you're trying to make money for yourself in a healthy way. Ain't nothing wrong with thinking that way. Nobody said your dreams can't come true because it's a crisis in any place. There's some people that, have y'all seen $1 Million Baby, movies like that, where people literally came all the way out the slums. Like the odds of the chances and odds of them literally making it was slim to none, depending on where they came from. In places like that, it could be poverty, crime. Anywhere is poverty. You got to expect that. So that's what I was like, what is their point with this? Having the government shut down loom for so long. I promise, since the beginning of the time, anywhere poverty lingers too long, when I say poverty, like famine, like people hungry type stuff, it's just like worse crime comes behind it. It's crazy. Forget what reason you're saying is happening. Everybody want to sit around and argue about the reason. The reason is the government shutdown. Last I checked, that's why I'm saying, why is everybody over panicking? Like, we've had government shutdowns before. Or was it just meant to be exposed? Like how people across the country and other countries too really feel about food stamps. Why did I say other countries? Because if they ever came over here and became a resident, America was so gracious. Immigrants sometimes get EBT and stuff too. So yeah, they might care about whatever changes we have over here with that. Like, So it goes back to that, like, well, who is saying what about? Yeah, they are here trying to fearmong. See, ladies, this is why y'all need a man. I guess, bro, that's weird. Secondhand embarrassment again. Like, who out here saying that? First of all, what you mean a man now, bro? Like, if women were getting help like that in the first place with the kids, why was so many of them being on food stamps? That's what I was asking to begin with. 40 something million, they said. Not women, of course. I'm just saying, I know a part of that number has to be a single mother somewhere. Because, it's married couples that probably had to go through seasons where, even though they was married, they had to go to the food stamp office and apply for food stamps. It depends on what they was going through. Y'all ain't seen that Tyler Perry movie? I think it was not Madea Goes to Jail, where that lawyer and his family had to come stay with Madea. They were just used to living a different type of lifestyle. Now, the movie doesn't show us that they had to go get on food stamps and stuff, but they did have to, maybe for whatever reason. I'm glad he showed that in that movie. I'm glad he showed that, because that could happen to anybody at any time. Just something out of nowhere you didn't expect. You used to live in a certain type of lifestyle, and they had to go stay with Medea's family for a little while. Y'all should go check the movie out. It's a funny movie. But it shows you some real things about life, too. how it was hard kind of for his daughter maybe and son. It wasn't easy for them to just adjust to that lifestyle over there. They was used to living a certain way. Now, there's probably kids out here like that today. Like once you introduce them to what they used to, okay, they might need time transitioning into that new lifestyle, even if it's temporary. Because even in that movie, they didn't have to stay with Medea for the rest of their life. Come on now. He had to stay there while he fought a case. That's really what that movie about. He stayed with his family, moved in with Medea's family till he fought his case and got through some stuff he was going through. I think he was being stole from his company or something like that. But yeah, for a second, his whole life had to change, like, and his family's, like, the lifestyle. Wow. Yeah, the lifestyle, like I said. Because now you got to put every dollar into that. Court ain't never been free. The court come with court fees and all kind of stuff probably too. So I appreciate that movie too. It's one of them I did see, and nobody really want to talk about it, but it gotta be real. But see, in the ones that do pay child support and the other parent gets benefits, sometimes they do take that out of the payments, okay? I don't even know why I said sometimes. I think most times that's how that's going to go. Because at any time, the other parent income could change. Now she making over 6 figures a year. The dad over there, he's still making the same, but he's still going to pay the same because his income has not changed. It just depends on, like, I guess what state you're in. The laws are different. Family court laws and child support laws are just different, and depending on what state you're in. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But it has always had to do with Medicaid and food stamps too. If the one of the parents that have the kids, because everybody don't be married. Once again, that's why we talking about this. If you are married, food stamps have always want to know about it. That's a part of the questions on the application. What do you mean? Because that would mean they just kind of automatically might suspect, okay, so that means it's two incomes in the house. Or maybe one of y'all lost y'all job. Maybe both of y'all are jobless. I'm just trying to teach people. It's harmless. They just be out here saying anything about people who get food stamps. Like, okay. Are you educated in how the EBT? It wasn't even called EBT at first. It's called electronic. I know that E stand for that because that was not that when food stamps first came out. You got to know what you're talking about. And any parent, it's a big decision in the first place to go apply. That's all I'm vouching up and speak for. Not because it's quote unquote embarrassing or shameful. Because some people's opinion was make food stamps shameful again. That's their opinion. Even when it was when it was here and on for people to go apply to, like talking about make it shameful. I kind of get where they coming from, I guess, with that, with the groups of people that they're talking about. I just don't indulge in everything. I just try to watch, like, I guess, my viewpoints on when people need help in life. Period. I'll listen to another person's opinion. That's all I can do. But I'll probably still give my own. I'm saying, if a person really, because they be like, well, they be greedy trying to get food stamps. And like, bro, no, you can't even do that. They ask your income. They're going to be able to see all of it too. If you're trying to lie about a job, and they can see it in the system once you're employed with your social security number, bro. Like, there's no need in trying to lie about your, oh, I don't have a job, EBT people. That doesn't make sense. Just so you can get food stamps, they've always asked. And if your income does go up, while you so happen to be getting it, that's just something you want to report, or they have it set up where you can report it. So if we need to take it down or cut it off because now you make too much, these are the real facts about it. Yeah, it's just like that. If your income goes too over, you have to check the threshold in your state per certain number in your household. Some people have a household of 2, some 3, some 4, some 5, some 6, some 7. Everybody household different. I don't think they care if you have pets, but most other stuff, the finances is a whole big factor. Like if you're getting that, no. If you have that, no. If it's too much, you might just get denied. That's all they're gonna tell you. Cause usually they want you to show proof, maybe of that job or that you in a training or whatever you're doing. They'll want you to show proof of that income. And if your income go up, you get a promotion, you get a new position. They'll want to know about it because it's like, yeah, we're gonna cut them off anyway. Now you're making too much. Sometimes you can even it's just many parts to it. All of that matters. How much your benefit is a month, they have nothing to do with nobody else in the world, because it's only going to be the applicant answering those questions. Once again, a person that's getting like all the help in the world, bro, and EBT is not even like childcare, nothing else yet, no other type of assistance. That's just like food, FOOD. I've been spelling it out lately too, because it's like, look at what's been going on. And I even reverenced to Scar and Mufasa the other day, because he promised everybody they was going to eat. Like, well, the hyenas, and I don't even know why they got excited. They was already like eating. See, that's just greed. That's just greed right there, bro. Like, plus he already had another agenda he didn't tell the hyenas about, because that's why he didn't go to Simba's birthing ceremony. The bird came and asked him, hey, why you wasn't there? Like, that was your brother's son. Like, he was just born. They did check him about that. But I say they should have got Scar out of there. When they saw that, for real, the movie just would have went whole probably different a little bit. Like, just go ahead and banish Scar now, bro. He's showing signs of, like, bro, was you asleep? Was you busy? I think he tried to say he forgot about it. Like, bro, you knew about this weeks before, Scar. Come on. You knew when the ceremony we came, they said they called you up. You know, you would know about that. You the king brother, bro. It's just crazy. Because that was the exact thing Scar chose to use. Like, yeah, y'all will never go hungry again. I'll probably just talk about it through this course of history right now, because we all love Lion King, though. It's something we can relate to, like, understand it in that way. He actually told them that, like, you'll never go hungry again. By the time Scar took over, just wanting something, being greedy, the land had no food at all. The same thing he said, that was gonna be replenished and better than. He just said he's gonna do everything better than Mufasa. Y'all will see. Just let me be the leader. It's crazy, man. You could have just left it alone the way it was. I was saying he still had a special position. Like, you the king brother, bro. He could have been like a whole guidance, like a whole nother. Just imagine him having like Scar and Mufasa guiding him is just like a powerhouse. It still kind of happened that way, regardless. Like, what Simba went through is just like, oh, maybe royalty called you to be that strong at that time. Like, they do go through stuff too. We talked about that on that stream, y'all. Like, how royalty have their own dramas and stuff too, sometimes. Because he didn't show up to Simba's thing because he was already like, well, now it's somebody that can really take that spot. It probably looked more realistic for him to become king one day. But now it wasn't, because the king had a son. But yeah, I'm like, what? They were saying it's like could be looked at in some people's opinions, like to already be putting out People just openly talking about that, like, yeah, what these women gonna do? Like, why would that be your first take on that? That's affecting more than women, trust me. If you think food stamps ain't help feed a few men out there, you're crazy. Of course it did, because men start as kids. And it's just a fact. Some people have come, no matter how well they doing today, they had to eat out tea before. So it's like, people can't act suddenly brand new and be like, and if they don't get them, somebody in their family probably do. And what? Somebody up in their neighborhood. But some people neighborhoods, nobody gets food stamps. And it shows like every house is like 2 or 3 stores and huge. Like some neighborhoods you can just tell nobody over there get EBT. But that don't mean somebody they might not know or a relative they got their life together like that might not be receiving it. Let's make this clear, right? In any family, it ain't the person that just now they got the 3, 4 story house job to really feed everybody, is it? People don't talk about that enough, but they be like, oh, it ain't the taxpayers, but they do. You know, you would think family want to help feed everybody, but I mean, realistically, one person can't feed. You know how big the average family is? For real. It probably is possible though, but who is out here doing it? Now, they immediate family, like the kids or the people they might be caring for. That's why they ask, are you the head of the household? Do you have dependents? Even on the food stamp applications, they do carry it. Because you probably 9 times out of 10 not going to be on there forever. What people mean? You're not going to be on there forever. Like, you might have income, run into an income hiccup. Even married. That's what I'm trying to teach people about these. There are married couples. Both of them probably have a job, but as long as their income do not over threshold, whatever the threshold is for their income. But it would probably be different because it's 2 of them if you married. Like, it might be it just would be different, like, because they're married. The qualifications for them. But both of them would still have to show proof of income. That's just how they go. People act like, well, because anybody, I'm sure they would not mind telling the food stamp people, like, yeah, I make too much money now. Why wouldn't they tell you that? Or if you get a job, they just require you to submit. Well, they don't care about when you get a job, I guess, but when you start making money, I'm telling you, it has to do with income. It always did. If you make too much money, you're not going to qualify for EBT. That's all people need to know mainly about this whole topic. That means, like, do people understand? That means child support. That's why some of these people that have babies by people with money, sometimes some of them they actually do stop working. They be talking about them too, if it is a type or whatever they be talking about. Like, they say it's people out here just be living off the child support. Like, they might get thousands upon thousands a month for just one child. And who knows what else? That ain't our business. But they say people don't look at that highly. That's all I'm gonna say. That's just society's opinion. And they look at it that way instead of, no, the mother gets this or the father gets this because they are taking care of the child. They want to look at everything else around it, because it always did have to do with EBT too. If you get too much of that, even, yeah, they're going to cut it off. We're talking about before this was the reason they would just cut yours off if you're making too much money. Because why do you need it anymore? In their opinion, there's a certain amount, once you're making that income threshold amount, yeah, they're going to cut them off. It don't matter what form, where it came from, they're going to cut them off. That's all people need to know. Period. This is only happening because there's a government shutdown right now. Okay? Uh, so whatever that means for people, they have to buy the food, they have to what? People was already saying they was using Klarna to pay for grocery orders. Klarna is that thing where you have it allows installment payments. It helps you like a credit. And I was like, what? They can use that for food now. You know, it is something I came across information on the news. Like, and people were kind of. I'm not saying it's funny. They were like just sharing stories. Like, yeah, I've been. And these are people without kids. I ain't lying. I said, what? Maybe just like college students. I'm just advocating just a little bit here for a second, if that's okay. But things I had probably never seen it from that way. But I've been a college student before, and I can tell people while you're studying, you do still have to eat. What do people mean? Any student status? We've talked about that on this channel before. Not my story, but just that fact alone. Any student level from K through 12 to college, job training, workforce, people don't look at that as work, but the country always have, because you're putting in time or effort to become something, or you know what I'm saying, get the education to do something. They do count that as work, and how many hours a day you do it. So it can actually help teach you some good skills. Like maybe people don't talk about that enough. Like putting people in those habits. They're doing it on purpose. The goal is to prepare you to launch back and make some money. Let's not just say go to work, because I was saying on other streams about this topic, going to work could be volunteer work. Then you're not getting paid. So then what's the topic? The person still got to eat. People still got to eat as long as they working. And then that's just the people. Some of these people did not have kids. Like I said, they was already paying for food with their, I don't know why they just was giving their opinion about it. Like, oh, we paying for food with our credit cards. Like people had been saying that. Some people, they just be like, oh, there's too much information on the internet and stuff like that. But I mean, if they want to share that on their TikTok stories and stuff, I'm sure people like me, I'm grateful to hear it. It makes you more humble. Like, maybe to them that was like some type of financial income change, to have to pay certain type of methods just to get their groceries. Most people usually just pay with cash or their debit cards or Apple Pay or something, you know. But deliveries, I don't know, you can do it like a order. I just didn't know they had made that possible for them with that, where you can, for the customers, where you can pay for your food. It could be like a $200-300 grocery order, because realistically, grocery orders, yeah. You have kids, that's like nothing. That's, somebody was talking about that too earlier. They was like, you could get 5 things at the store these days. It come out to $30. Like how? I guess it's true depending on where you shop too. And some people shop quality over quantity. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. They just prefer to go where they feel like it's better quality products. Not just value. See, shopping shows you a lot. Everybody has different shopping habits. You see, some people just shop like that. Like, no, I need the, not just the money, what I can save out of it. They actually value the value. Like, they spend the money. Like, they think about a lot of different things about it. Not just like, oh, let me spend the quickest, cheapest dollar. But some people do. Some people are like that. They just call them cheap. CHEAP. I'm not saying it's a good or a bad habit, but during times like these, you can't get mad. It's like, how that person keep thinking of ways to survive? If they was already a cheap person, what do you mean? It's just a little jokey joke thing. I don't have my headset microphone on tonight, but I hope y'all was able to hear me okay on here. Okay, so we covered that part of the topic of education, of an EBT education, but you're not gonna get approved if you make too much money. That's one of the main things, like requirements. Like, yeah, it's called low. It's for low income people for a whole reason. And what is their point? You see, it's like, do they know? Have you have to receive this before? You know somebody received it before? And like I said, just because people in big houses and nice communities don't mean they might not have extended family members, loved ones, friends, or other people that might be on the program. That's the thing about it. That's true too. It's just one of those things, like, you see how a certain person living, just like, oh, they don't need food stamps. They buy everything. They're living like they're supposed to. But like I said, there's stories out there already of people that have no kids at all. They might just be college students or just buying their first homes, all kind of different situations. With that, the big homes too. They have bills to pay in those big homes. Everybody still got to eat in those big homes. Like, so I guess it's just how everybody, what is it called? How everybody needs to live within their means anyway. It's just going to help people do that. The longer the government stays shut down and people don't have EBT, they'll learn anybody. It just would help you. Or, like I said, you can't see where it was, like they try to set it up like you are preparing to just work and get better positions and make more money. Why would it be designed for you to stay on it over and over again? Period. And because it's you have to be low income to qualify, mostly low income people apply and qualify for different reasons. I guess they saying the whole time, if you could work, they'll work and just be self-sufficient, let the people. Now we understand a person like that's homeless or maybe just transition out of homelessness, like them being first priority, them disabled people, elderly people who might have low income as well, and also veterans for sure, because it's like a government benefit. And why wouldn't they qualify at any time if they retired and disabled? We understand it. Pregnant women, I forgot about them. Or if you just had a baby, I could argue with anybody about that alone. A woman in the first 6 months, if you are going to be strict, at least consider the first 6 months. Not even during the pregnancy. I believe women should still, if they need to apply, be a priority on for emergency assistance, even during the shutdown. Shout out to the states that have been able to lock in, resourceful programs to help them maybe through the shutdown. That don't mean they can do it forever, of course, but maybe just for the month of November, right? You guys do your own research and stuff like that, but they could still, when stuff like that happen too, though, it can be like they don't accept any new applications. Or even if you see a flood of new applications, they would probably be delayed or on hold, people got to think about that too. They just saying when it comes to current standing people actually on there, the number was 40 something million people. You can't tell me that's just like all women. There are people in different situations that end up needing food stamps. So yeah, to me, pregnant women, all the categories I just named, homeless people for sure. If you actually currently are, what? Why wouldn't you qualify for food stamps? You're definitely low income in that position, I would say. Or sometimes you're not, because people be homeless for different reasons. Um, you do know you have to pass credit checks. You gotta pass credit checks just to get your own place. The only place you ain't gotta pass a credit check is probably a hotel, motel. What you mean? Or if you're gonna sublease from somebody, they probably don't care. But most of them run a credit check too, honestly. Um, Now, when you go to one of them, they just gonna check you in. You gotta have identification, and then boom, you got at least some kind of roof over your head. Because what I'm trying to prove is that not everybody that's homeless, it might not be a financial reason. So even if you still make too much money, but you homeless, okay? For whatever strange reason that could happen, because I feel like it could. They don't always mean you have absolutely no income coming in because you're homeless. That's crazy. Some of the people out there get monthly disability checks or different things too. That's what show you that. It could be other stuff. Is it their background? Is it a credit check? Spit it out. Like, what would keep a person in a loop over and over and over to need their same benefit anyway? To need their same benefit anyway, over and over and over again. Okay, what is it? Credit check, background, finances. You can't pay me to believe it's always people financing income. If you make too much financial income, you're not gonna qualify for EBT anymore. We just have to get that understood. For people that might, if they come across this stream, they actually are gonna, when they go back and play this, here's some very valuable, real education EBT talk. You're not going to even qualify for the benefit, bro. I don't care who you are that apply if you make too much money. They don't just, okay, approve every application. No, they actually filter through the applications. They're assigned to people to, research your case and stuff. So your family household, that's what we're talking about. And they just don't know, like, how many changes a person want to keep their household as consistent as possible because of stuff like that. Stuff people don't even understand. Like, why would you want to, want your income to be up and down all the time or always got to change? Because it'll say, did a how? That's what those recertification appointments are about. Like, they don't just turn them on and they on forever. I don't know what people thought. You have to do meetings and check in, because that does happen to people. You might get a new job, a promotion. You might get a new job out of the state. Anything that, if they're made aware of it and you do your part, make them aware of it. You might make too much money now, or you might now you're in another state. We can't give you benefit no more. That's just how they go. Certain things with finances and income. Maybe that's why people fight over money so much. It's stupid. You actually do have to, meet certain requirements. That's not new. What they are doing is making it a little stricter. I can't tell people that. So even if you want to be one of those ones, if it so happened the government finally open back up, they get the funding and stuff together. If they turn it back on, I'm telling people it was still going to be different, because like now there are different requirements. It went from, we're cutting it, people not going to be able to buy snacks, to this. Like, okay. Some people even give their opinions vocally and openly they say, oh, are they holding food over the people's heads? Now 40-something million people is not the whole country for sure. But I feel like they know they seen an increase in people that got food stamps when the pandemic happened. They hate that I bring up the pandemic so much, but it wasn't that long ago. People had to get on that program because of the same thing. Some people were not being paid at work or they couldn't work. Now they in and out of work because they sick. That was happening. So people needed food stamps. You can't now spend it. Oh, it's 5 years later. What are the women going to do? That's stupid. The same thing they did through the COVID-19 pandemic, survive. And maybe some people was even fighting to do that. That's why I don't think that's funny at all. To be like, oh, let's make jokes about they need to go to work. Or, I don't know. It can be a thin line between your opinion and kind of disrespectful to the people that receive it, because not everybody is out there abusing stuff. They actually appreciate the help, like pregnant women, disabled people, like I said, veterans, people with young babies. I said within the first 6 months you just had a baby, why that person can't be on food stamps if they can't go to work for a little while? Like, that's stupid. You don't have to explain your situation to people either. But that would only be the shoes of a woman. That's why I'm referencing to it for a second. A man is not going to have a baby and maybe need to miss work. I didn't say they have to for 6 months. You can get cleared after 6 weeks to return to work. Most times, if you didn't have a C-section. But some women do be needing up to 6 months because of C-sections. That's a whole surgical procedure, bro. Like, and they might need food stamps. People's point is you shouldn't be on them, like, I guess, longer than they think you should be. It's really weird. Well, you gotta make sure ain't no barriers in nobody's way. Because that's what it come back down to, the income. You're not even qualifying for that program if your income is too much. And you reporting it honestly. Nobody, trust me, food stamps, EBT do not cross nobody's mind that's literally getting to the money. Like, they're on their finances, income like they supposed to be. Trust me. EBT is not on their mind. They already living a comfortable life, trust me. Most of them, yep. If anything, they working at the office. Like, why would they need it? But it does happen to people. They said food bank lines, because like anybody can have something happen with their job where they need the food stamps. That's what I'm trying to point out. Or their income where they need the food stamps. And then there's some people that outgrow it. And then you can't have people sitting around like jealous of it. That's the point of the program to begin with. And don't be jealous if people find ways to survive, because they gotta eat, right? They find ways to survive even if that has to stay cut off in the month of November or however longer it go. Because I already see that looming a little bit. Like, if they already asking what the people gonna do, they showing you they watching. Like, okay, maybe that's good for the people. Everybody, they said make America great again. What? In the times where there were no food stamps. But guess what? There was a time like that. But see, things were like different. Like, did people more grow food on their land? You had to change a lot of other stuff surrounding it. Changing something like, okay, just no more food stamps. Like, come on, bro. They had markets, the food was fresher. It's a lot of stuff you gotta make great again that goes with it, even with the food stamps off. The people that want to make their own honeys and recipes and maybe help each other with food and sell food and where families can still eat, like, because you know they're going to be watching. Like, I already, well, yeah, what's the people reaction? What they going to do if they got kids? Like, I hope you're asking in a way because you care and you're trying to help out here. Some of them was like, yeah, these women wanted to be single. Now what? It's like, what do that have to do with people eating? Like humanitarian realities. Even animals eat, literally. Don't y'all know? Let's just keep our positive thoughts and prayers out here with everybody, though, for real. Because it's like people pregnant right now. I know it is. Right here in our country. They're pregnant, or they're gonna, or they probably even pregnant and they don't know yet. All kind of situations. As laws and everything change right now. Change and don't change. Because guess what? That's what the government shutdown is about a little bit. People have to be able to come to votes and agreements to pass funding, to get this funding granted to keep these programs going. If they was already at people necks about what, making bakeries out of their house or selling plates and stuff like that, I just thought that was crazy though. Like, oh, if you use EBT to do that, what? Because, see, once you buy it and cook it and you bought food with it, I don't see how that's crazy. I mean, how that's, like, frowned upon. That's just people saying, no, we want to control what you're doing with it. They feel like it should go in you and your household's belly. You don't make bakeries, bake cakes, nothing, cupcakes to make an income. Because maybe some people were able to do that. Y'all seen that one video that one man got on there? He was like, the kitchen's going to be shut down temporarily because I ain't taking no orders because of EBT. It probably was a skit. Y'all got to remember, some of those videos be skit. I was just saying it's funny. It was funny, though. Like, bro, you wouldn't just get on there. I guess he was just letting his customers and stuff know. But that one had to be a skit, bro. He's like, well, y'all food stamps off. I ain't going to be able to do no orders. And we're going to have the other ones, they coming soon. He was saying something like that. Like, it is good to let people know, right? If their order's going to be on hold. But the other part, I'm just like, come on, bro. He was like, because there's no EBT in November. Like, bro, let people come to their own conclusions. If you had to shut down shop for a second, just tell them that. But the other part, I was like, well, this is funny. It's, And that's crazy. Like, it's like, if you ever wanted to get the people attention about something anywhere, food, it's been countries going through that for real. This is not funny. Y'all didn't, what was that? I was talking about it on one of the streams recently, where they were out there trying to deliver food to the people. They were starving, the kids and everybody trying to get in line, people dying, traveling, trying to come get food. I think at the time the U.S. was like, I think they sent food over there and everything. But that was their story where they was saying it was kind of this, whatever, man. It's always something like barriers to the next step and the next step. Like you fighting every step. Or the people end up fighting each other. Because, you know, if you starving and hungry and you waiting in line, fights and stuff are prone to happen too. Or people stampeding one another. It gets real. Just to try to get food. They never understand in that moment. Like, that's not helping. The more order it is, I don't know, the more efficient, because that do matter. You're trying to get to everybody. If they in line hungry, you trying to make sure everybody gets something. Fight and just delay it for everybody. That's just how they go. But yeah, if you make too much, but that's something to look at too though. If you make too much, they're gonna cut you off. You don't have to worry about that. Or hopefully you would be the one calling, hey. But that's what's crazy about it. Like they have a way you can go in there just like, hey, I don't want the benefit no more. I don't know if people knew that, but it ain't always gotta be you getting cut off of it. Like you can go in there and put in and say, hey, I had a job change or I had a promotion. Or sometimes, if you need them to talk to you about it, but ain't no way. You're not gonna hear about people making over a certain amount of money and they still got food stamps. If it goes over that amount, depending on what your household size is it 8 people? Is it 10 people? Is it 5 people? Is it 2 people? Like that. You can't make over a certain amount depending on how many people it is. See, they'll show like, okay, we want you working, but guess what? If the income go over that, like you're not gonna qualify for the benefit no more. Plus your utilities and whatever else. Some people got car insurance, cars. They never say you couldn't have cars on EBT. But it is what's crazy. It's a part of the application that's gonna ask you like, do you have a vehicle? That's what I was talking about with the assets and stuff too. Even if you don't own it, they might want to know about the payments. You might qualify for more of a benefit. Like, oh man, you pay that too, that too, that too. We see you make money, but you got to pay all this. Okay, boom, you qualify. We're going to give you some help. But if you make too much, and it shows you can pay all of that, and you probably be having an income left over, they just look at it, even if it's just like $50 left over, $100 after you pay all your bills. And plus you get other income, they just consider all of that. So, but car insurance plus a car, plus if you have to do maintenance, like they will ask you, you know what I'm saying? If you have to, it's good to keep your receipts for that reason too. Most people don't have to have receipts anymore because you can print your card statements or bank summary statements, stuff like this that kind of show you what you spend too, if you just need to. Because like the income is a whole thing. You can't say you're getting zero income and you got a luxury car and luxury designer on. Like these people won't go look at your social media. Or somebody that knows somebody might know, or they can see what they think they do. I'm saying what's not appropriate. They can see what they think they see. Because a person, just because you see them like that and you knew they had EBT before, do not mean they're getting EBT at the moment that you saw them with a luxury car and nice clothes and whatever they had going on. Even if they did, like I said, as long as you're not making over a certain amount, they will still qualify you. The point is to still see you make an income and work. So it says a lot. People do have jobs, or they pay, they just be like, oh, I don't get food stamps. Like, we would know why if you know about EBT. If you don't get EBT, it's either because you didn't apply or when you did apply, you made too much money. That ain't never nobody else's fault for you to like hang over. Well, I'ma watch what the people with it do. Okay, don't make yourself mad, because they still qualify for that because of their income at any given time, or whatever everybody different situations be. And yes, some people with jobs, I'm gonna say that again for the record, still receive EBT benefit. Because guess what? If their income ain't over a certain thing, like I said, they can still qualify. But to even qualify, you have to apply. That's the point. So if you don't get EBT, it's either because you didn't apply or you make too much money when you did try to apply. That's just how that goes. And people be out here mad, just go apply. And then if you apply and you don't qualify, that ain't nobody else's fault, in my opinion. For you to be out here, well, I'm going to put all my time into seeing why this person get it, because why I can't get it. Okay, that's the first rule of their program, bro. Like, it's for low income people. Income, that part, low income. Housing too. That's why they do. I wouldn't say anybody else job or anybody need help, like quote unquote pocket watching. If a person already received EBT or government benefit, that ain't a person that needs to be pocket watched. Trust me, because see, they already have to report to them. They work with them to get their benefit. What do you mean? It's just how they go. Not the streets, not the neighbors, not anybody else. Family, none of that. Friends, that person works with them to continue to receive that benefit. Like, they don't just turn them on. People at home chilling, like people out here talking about. It's funny to hear what people say, bro. They been changed it. They have like work requirements, job training. Like, if a person is like able-bodied and stuff, yeah, they been changed it. Some states, they like been started drug testing people too, just for them to qualify. It ain't even just their income no more. Like, it depends on where you are, like what the laws, what the states, what the regulations is. You notice in some places THC is totally legal, and it just is. So of course their offices and stuff wouldn't probably be on their programs. But it's understandable in states that it's like zero tolerance or something like that. But I'm just getting people education up a little bit. Let them say what they want to say first. I love doing that because it's been states that started drug testing people, making them do work programs and stuff just to get food stamps, bro. Like, even if they're not working, they have to come to classes every month to the workforce. Some of them, I think they can do them from home, or you can go sign up for trainings and stuff. They'll help you. This is how it was. It wasn't just people getting it. You can assert yourself to go do something. I want to go back to school to be a medical assistant, or because some schools it's just like 6 weeks, 6 months. Like cosmetology, for example, I heard it's just maybe like a year, depending on what you're trying to do. But it is good to like have your license. It opens up a door for you to do. So they always it don't matter who don't like it. Training courses, training, license certifications, training. I'm gonna say it again: training, schooling, all of that. It's still work. Are you getting paid probably while you're in school? Probably not. In training, some trainings, they pay you to go to training, but it ain't always like that. It's still always been considered work. And that's something that they've been started pushing harder. Like, yeah, we want to see these people doing more. We understand having a hardship, but we want to see that you are pretty much doing all you can to help change your circumstances well. They've been stopped doing that where it's just cut on and, well, we'll talk to you when it's time to recertify. No. There's other, maybe like hour sheets, time sheets, activity sheets and stuff you have to submit, right? Like, what? If your state is not doing it already, if they turn them back on, I'm telling y'all, most of them have already decided to start doing it. Ain't nobody just finna be on them. Housing, none of that either. I don't know what kind of housing people been on. Usually they make you submit some type of, you don't just be on that and it's cut on and, oh, well, I just get this one income. If you can still, like, able-bodied work and stuff, they're gonna try to help you do, you know what I'm saying? Well, this is what they supposed to be doing, right? Because you can have a job at McDonald's, but why not at some point try to promote yourself? You wouldn't just want to stay on that level, would you? Just because you're on housing and your rent $50, you're like, well, I'm gonna just work here. They gonna help me for 2 years, so I'm gonna work at McDonald's for 2 years. That's a great plan too, but why not? While you getting that help, you working at one job, be applying for something that pay more just in case, because your situation is different from the other co-workers at work. They be wondering, or why are you switching jobs, or why are you transferring companies? Some people very well still do that. That's called following the money, but in a positive way. They'll say follow the money with anything else. It's okay to say that. But it's not okay to follow the money when your whole goal, like they said on EBT goal should be, your whole goal is to up your income. So yeah, you could work at a place 3 months, another job call you because you've been applying for something that pay more. Your job might not understand why you need that. Jobs ain't gonna never understand that. They are another ones too. They want you to stay right there where they hired you to be. But yeah, if a person needs a promotion, I don't know. I ain't trying to go encourage everybody to just start doing it. But trust me, employers right now would probably understand what people are going through with EBT on hold in different states and stuff right now. If a person came in there, hey, if I'm going to keep working here, they ain't going to have no choice. But I'm just saying, as a scenario, if you tell your boss, I need $1 or $2 more raise, most of them is not going to want to do that. It depends on how long you been there, what, They're not just going to, but it don't hurt to talk to them about it. And that's my point. You're not going to want to give people raises. You cannot control in the background cut who's applying for what at a constant rate until they see, because some people are persistent like that. Like, no, until I'm making this much, that's what, but it's okay too to work a job until you get to the next level. That's all I was saying. But they can't be mad at people wanting promotion. Like, everybody don't want to stay in the same position. Like, oh, my rent cheap, so what I make at McDonald's is enough for me. I mean, yeah, I guess. But how you gonna save? Like, if you just making enough to pay your bills, save what? That's my question to the financial gurus out there. Money masterminds and everything. Like, what are you saving if the little bit you bringing in is only paying the bills, the lights, like you have enough for food left and you literally got $2 left to your name every time you get paid, right? Who want to keep living like that every month? You don't want to just have enough. That's why people would ask for raises. That's why people would continue to look for other positions that might pay them more. Period. Not just, well, a job is a job. Okay, but nobody should be just staying on that level if they don't want to. And just making that same money because it's like, well, it's something. They call that, ladies and gentlemen, a quote-unquote poverty mindset. Like, you have no intention of growing your literal finances. If you able-bodied and you have the ability to. Like, who would just be like that? If I work a job that's $10 an hour, but a job I applied for 6 months ago called me. I've been working this $10 hour job for 6 months. And that other one called me and they pay 15. Why wouldn't I say yes to that position? Now, your only option is to work both or to quit the other one so you can make that money. It's what, I mean, I guess the promotion would be working both if you could. Because, shifts vary and stuff like that. One might need you at nighttime, the other in the daytime. It's only up to you. Like, But my question to that too, again, was if people gonna be hustling like that because they have to now, whether they was ready to or not, just because the government is shut down, like whereas people, they better hurry up and cut these daycare programs back on, after school programs. Like I said, shout out to the schools that was talking about that on the news, the districts that do continue to have substitute food aid programs to feed the students at school. I think that's great news. But still, again, kids go home on Christmas and Thanksgiving breaks and stuff to with their families. Families still have to eat whether school is in there going on or not. It's crazy that everybody could just be put in the same boat like that. But it's nothing to fear. It's been people out there surviving it like the whole time. They been said they had to use installment payments to pay for their grocery orders, and people was already starting to go through that. Or saying they spending $30, $50 on like 5 to 7 items walking out the grocery store. It do seem like that sometimes. You like, how much did I spend? I only got 2 bags. What? Cause if you moving so fast, you just moving fast. Like it's the convenience. You got self checkout, everything. Like it's just convenient. You get in your car, you get in your smart car, you go to the smart garage. You're not even thinking about it. Googling maps back home. But it does. It starts to, you get to looking back at your account like, I paid for what? Because truthfully, yes, people have to eat. Like food, you gotta, and if you have whole families, people been felt like that. And it's sad too. Some people just, at the end of the day, we're not gonna call them weak or nothing. It's just one of those things we all understand in the world. Like, you want to, you got to feed your family. They being resorted to like some of the worst things possible just to do that, you know? So I don't agree with people like discouraging that route. Of course, you're not encouraging people to abuse any route of assistance or help. Is like I said, even with that, people starting food businesses and stuff, I don't see nothing wrong with that because your food business could take off, and then you don't even need the. But technically, yes, like I said, it is just for households, especially if that parent or mother, father is doing it out of their home. You can't just say they're trying to. Now, if they go start a restaurant or something like that with their own money, that opens the door for them to be able to do that. I just feel like with these type of benefits, every case has to be, it just has to, because they even consider them cases. They're like family cases. So every beneficiary would have to be like looked at differently, if that makes sense. Because people, once again, they all end up needing these benefits for different reasons. Everybody case is different. CASE. And if your income is just tipsy topsy, like people say it should be, and just go to work and you have food, there wouldn't be people with jobs that still get food stamps. They might not get much because they have a job, okay? But they might still qualify for a benefit for their family because they can prove that what they make is actually less and or barely paying they'll cut them on for people like that. Like your income not over the threshold, plus you can prove that what you do get, like it barely covers, like barely scratching the surface. Once again, them situations where you might have $50, they seeing it, you able to prove it. $100 left after you pay the thing. That's if you pay it on time. You're not digging in the bill money, making miscellaneous spends. Okay, because let's talk realistic with finances and budgeting and stuff too. Some people, that just shows that on paper. We know people do that. But I'm saying the goal is supposed to be to make what you need, cover everything, and save. SAVE. How is you saving when you barely scratching the surface? That means everything going into that. That's the problem. You can't tell me more Americans have a savings, but people's savings got depleted during the pandemic. Last I checked, people was complaining about that. Like, hey, I've been having to go in my savings. I've been having to max out my credit card just to pay bills and stuff. They was talking about that. Just to buy groceries, because people, okay, if you have a stay-at-home order, people at home, or they using more dishwashing liquid, more toilet paper, more lights, people had, more stuff they had to pay for. That's why they gave everybody help with the stimulus checks and EBT for a little while. I don't know why people trying to act brand new. What the mother's gonna do without EBT and the children? Like some people without kids and some people that had kids that were just not in the household qualified for EBT while the pandemic was going on. They sure did. Anybody that needed help just about could come over there and get EBT benefits during the pandemic because they understood people's income, finances, household status like that change for any reason during something like that. Your family could have got displaced, put out, somebody could have passed away. This was serious. From the virus itself. People been had to spend their savings, and now are they even able to save? Don't miss over that part. The people with jobs been saying they have to cover bills and stuff. They barely have anything left to save. Because guess what? Even if they can get themselves these days a little stable, somebody somewhere still needs help. Especially if you're a part of a community, a family, a help of any sort, a group, somebody else might need help. Do people think about that? You can teach all day long, oh, just help yourself. That is not realistic, bro. You can have a neighbor at any given time need help, need whole help. Even if it's just a little sugar, a piece of bread, that ain't brand new. Like, the only people that happens to is celebrities, where they might feel like, and even they, we talked about that on the stream earlier, have charities and donate and help sponsor stuff sometimes. Yes, they do. Rich people have always been known to do that. Like, I was just saying, you don't want to be known for, like, doing it all the time over all so many years, and then, like, oh, it's like it go out the window. One wrong allegation. Like, one wrong that ain't even being charged or you're guilty of that. Just like one wrong allegation. It don't matter what you donated to, contributed to, volunteered your time. Because we were talking about charity earlier. EBT is not just some charity for some people anyway, because y'all was out here arguing, oh, that's the taxpayers' money. Like, the EBT recipients are not the ones who take it out of your paycheck, just to remind everybody. And then it don't just come out of taxpayers' paychecks. Like, some people pay whole child support, bro. And that's society's bad. Most of society who didn't know that, yeah, that's a part of, you know what I'm saying, those type of government benefits. They might like use a portion of those payments to go towards those benefits. So people are weird, bro. Like, if they didn't know that, but they've been out here speaking on, just like, come on, bro. Who should get him, who shouldn't. Like, you don't know that if you don't even know the facts about these programs, bro. It might have an agreement there, like, oh, this child, because the other parent could already be getting EBT or Medicaid to help provide for their child at any given time, whether the parent is in a household or not. Now, it might ask, it do too. People don't know about this stuff. They just want to say their opinions and stuff. It'll ask, like, are you married? Are you single? Are you separated? Or like, where is this dependent's other parent? Some people just put they don't know. Period. And what's crazy, even if you say you don't know, just so people know, if you say you don't know, and because if you actually, it don't matter if you're not getting a child support. If you have a child support order somewhere in the system, they're gonna find it. They'll see, like, oh, you told us this. You don't know what is. You don't know who. Come on, bro. Like, then we find this, and you get child support, so they would see it anyway, if that's something you get. But like I was telling people, if you get too much of even that, it's still considered income. If you get too much of that, you're not going to qualify. They're going to look at it like you don't need it. They always it's always been like that. If you make too much, it's going to be looked at like oh, okay, you don't need this. People thought women just get that because they have kids. You don't know what you're talking about. Because first of all, some people's SNAP and stuff, we know it's not just the taxpayer paying it. The parents been contributing. If they in a child support order and you're receiving that benefit, they take that out of that. Y'all can go look it up yourself. I'm not lying. They take that out of it. Like, people didn't know what they was talking about the whole time, bro. About any of their EBT opinions. Who should get them, what they're doing with them. Like, okay, so that's if a parent say they don't know where the other parent is. Because those type of situations are real. And even foster parents and stuff. That's who people should think about too. Foster parents, those orphanages. Well, I'm going to say foster parents because they actually would have those children in the home if you're a foster parent. So, but some of them too, like, they don't know what they be talking about. Some of them foster parents too, I guess if they make too much money, it's the same rule. You won't qualify no matter. I mean, they do try to consider the dependents and how many other people you're taking care of. But if they don't make enough money and they have dependents and they're foster parents and they have a low income, yeah, those are some of the people in the world who get food stamps too. It help all kind of people. People don't know what they talking about. And some of the people like, oh man, food stamps, they got it helped feed them. Probably back in the day, if it wasn't their own parent, it was probably auntie, somebody else in the family that got food stamps. Let's be honest. Just because you got a family member that stay in the hills in a big 3-story house don't mean somebody far off in the extended family somewhere didn't need food stamps, bro. Like, what is people talking about? Like, oh, I thought you wouldn't need them. Your family members stay on the hill. That's like telling a celebrity that they don't take care of every single family member just because they made it. They probably donate to charities and stuff, like I said. But they not just out here probably taking care of day and night. All the finances there. They probably wouldn't have no money long either. Nah, but some of them do have enough money to do that. Don't ask me why it ain't like that. Who was that came out recently talking about he had to tell his family, he said it's okay to talk about it. Like, he's rich. He was like, I'm rich, not we, or something like that. It was just funny. I just had kind of scrolled by it and laugh. I forgot who that was. I don't think Jamie Foxx, it was somebody. Just kind of talking about maybe that person's experience, like when they first, you know what I'm saying, came into some money like that. It's just funny to think about, like, because do people think about that? You want to talk about EBT. Them one of the first people would know, even if you hit the jackpot lottery, you go cash that ticket, that income can even if you don't report it, it can be, it's going to give a whole alert. This person is a millionaire now. Like, this person don't need food stamps no more. Even if you don't tell them. But it is where, like, you can go on there and click it. Like, yes, turn this off. I forgot. What's the word I'm looking for? Just like you do a social media account or something. Like, yeah, I want to delete this. People don't know you have the whole option to do that, to get off of it. People have the whole choice to get off of it at any time. Call up there, hey, cut it off, cut my card off. They might ask you, you sure? They might ask you some questions like, what? Seriously. But that is something to think about. People could get off of it the whole time, bro. Like, especially if they have a massive income change. You don't need it anymore. Get off of it. Let somebody else that could use that in their kids or their household use that program. Same thing I feel like with homeless shelters, any kind of resource that help people. You shouldn't have to tell people that. Why would, and maybe that's why I say some of this is like, it's narratives that they spin, because who would want to just like stay on something, even if it's housing, your rent $50. I'm just gonna be content with my McDonald's job because somebody told me to just look at it as a job. I should want to do better because my rent is $50 while my income like that. I'll be applying 30 different jobs a day while I'm working at McDonald's, and nobody could be mad about that. I wouldn't be. Yeah, you can take. I wouldn't be. That's all I was saying, y'all. It's my opinion. You can't. I'd be proud of a client doing that. Like, you really trying to get off this program. You trying to become a homeowner, aren't you? And by the way, for the ones that don't know that, they just don't know. They just giving their opinion. What the mothers and people gonna do? The same thing they did during the pandemic and survive, kinfolk. And other tragedies like Hurricane Katrina, real stuff people done been through already. What kind of narrative are you trying? Yeah, the single mother's gonna need the men again. Like, I guess if you're being hopeful and not funny, because that's always been a bad thing. That's why food stamps exist. If people was getting help like that, like I said, why is they need to go get on them? They gotta make it look like, oh, well, they just want them and they want to abuse them. That's weird, bro. That's weird. As any person living a comfortable life, did they just think, oh, let me go get on food stamps? Like, come on, bro. That's just low. That's just low right there. To say that anybody is just running to get on it for that reason. If they are, that's they crazy, they bold, cause that's not something you can be playing with, lying about. And let's say you just start a job, y'all. Even if it is a good paying job, I think even EBT would understand you need at least a month to make your first salary check. They wouldn't just cut them off. I'm telling people, they do not know the levels of how this program works. You just out here talking about watching people grocery baskets, talking about they're buying too many snacks. That's how you know they was doing it. There are other things that can tell us, like the snack sales. They want to look at the dental health and health, obesity, all of that stuff. We see that too. But let's look at the numbers of what these snack companies have made. That's crazy. Nobody's, I mean, if they spent the money that people spent, right? They got the money people spent to buy the snacks, that matters too. Or would that change for them without EBT? You know, people gonna be watching it. Like, how did the snack sales do? They might hurry up and cut the EBT back on. Cause what? Frito-Lay, all the soda companies, everybody, they act like people just be eating up snacks. You might add a snack or two in your lunch every day. What's wrong with that? A bag of Cheez-Its, some Chip Ahoy cookies. Just because you see that in somebody's grocery cart do not mean they're like, no, they don't, they're the low class, they don't deserve snacks. That's crazy, bro. That's like a society shock to some people. Like, what are y'all talking about? It just show you people being felt like that, though. They was already talking like that on the internet. Like, these people be buying steaks and crab legs. That's what they were saying. knowing they themselves eat steak and crab legs. Like, why do it matter? I know it do matter what a person eat, but these people are the new doctors. They're concerned. But a change had to start somewhere, y'all. I'm just giving my commentary and reaction because they have the whole obesity problem. And in the world, period, like people are not as healthy unless they stay in one of those parts of the world where they eat fresher foods all the time. Like some people have channels where they travel places just to introduce other islanders and foreigners to American food. I enjoy this type of like videos. They call them like vlogs, and people vlogs be on different topics, and I like to watch them. But it'd be funny to see their reactions to something like hot Cheetos, because they don't eat that over there. It do be funny to watch. They be having them try different candies. It was one trend they had to stop that because I ain't gonna call them bad or nothing, but they just thought it was funny to do a prank where they pay homeless people to try this very, very, very spicy food. I would just say the only thing wrong with it, you want to have water or a very cold drink right there ready. Because, yeah, they could be of course, they going to take the challenge. You say, hey, I give you $100, you eat 10 of these hot chips. Of course, a homeless person going to say, okay, but is that good for their health? Like, it's an old man, he might choke on the chip or anything. Of course, a homeless person going to want to do the challenge, but you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. That's all I was saying about that. But some people, they just go bless the homeless. They've been doing it. They go give them a free meal plate, some money, some socks, some travel hand sanitizer, a Bible. Shout out to those that have been a good charity this far. No matter what, all changes, let's all remember changes can be temporary for greater purposes too. Because if more people want a resource, people have a better understanding about it, and or maybe how people can utilize it to elevate themselves, maybe you will see more people transition off the program. But I know that's a part of it. People crazy if they think, oh, just the taxpayers pay that. Not just the taxpayers, whole parents pay towards that too. Like, if it's a benefit the other parent had to receive to help with the child, that's a household member, bro. That's a part of the household of the parent that the child stay with. Like, yeah, they take that out of that, and people didn't know that. Maybe only in certain states. I can't say that much. It is different. Family law, child support law, some of that ties into, they want to know because that's a part of your income. Ain't no way you get $7,000 in child support a month. They still giving you food stamps. If it go over too much, yeah, it don't matter if you have a kid. That's why you don't see celebrities out here with food stamps. They have kids too. Didn't y'all see that? Some of those celebrities have a bunch of kids out here. You don't see their parents on food stamps though. I mean, maybe some of them. Maybe some of them. That's a different topic for another day. Because I know it do happen. But maybe that's only in the case that the celebrity don't know that's their baby yet or something like that. But most times, if you know, them parents, they going to go file that child support. Now she get enough. Now she get enough to take care of the child. She don't need to go apply for EBT. like when it comes to parental rights and stuff, I wouldn't know. I would encourage people, like, if you know you pay child support or you have some kind of child support order, because this is going back to the topic of income for another parent. Of course, it's not for that parent or nothing like that, but on paper, on record, they still consider that a whole, this is the three words, source of income. Of course, you don't go to work for that money, but they just consider it like, okay, this is money that come in your household, though. They not gonna call it, I mean, they might say, what kind of income is it? Oh, this come from my school. This come as a gift for contribution. This is that. Like, people get different form of income for different things. This is child support. Oh, okay, how much you get right here? See, the only reason I'm bringing it up, they do filter that in. I don't see why, like, when it comes to parental rights and stuff, like, a father or a mother wouldn't want to know that. That's valuable information. They take out of that, even if it's 10% of the father's payment and they get a rest to the mother or vice versa. Or they take 20% just once a month to help go towards Medicaid. Because I was wondering how does it affect all of that? For sure, at any time, if they was taken out for EBT and stuff like that, I guess the other money would just go back. That percentage they was taken out, like I was just describing. If you cut the EBT off, that money would have to go back to the, just, I guess, still to the parent, like, not the payee, but the, because that's where they garnished it a little bit to go towards. That's how I know they do that for real. You might notice, soon as you apply for food stamps, your child support payments go down, or they decrease a little bit. That's because they take a portion of that to go towards that. That's what proves what I'm saying. If you report it or they see it, which they are going to see it if you got a real order, they're going to look at how much, or if you even receive those payments for any reason. Because if you don't, they're not going to count that as income. But still, what that means now it might be more the taxpayer paying, because, like, if the other parent is not, if it's not there to garnish, to go towards it, I don't think it mean to disappear. I think that just builds up. So that's still not the taxpayer money. Like, they still at some point would try to garnish that. It just builds up what you don't pay when it comes down to that level of it. I was just wondering, did people know? They just be quick to have opinions about who should get this stuff, what people buy. You can't say that for everybody, because it ain't just the taxpayer money. I'm telling you, literally, bro. Like, I thought about that today. It's like they take out of certain payments too, if it have to do with child support, and it goes towards the quote unquote, I guess it's just like paying the state back, because that's where I say it might be the taxpayer money, only if they're not receiving child support. Then it's not just the taxpayer's money. The other parent is also contributing to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you want to call it the state. I would say to the child, it's still contribute. That's why they have that in the order. Because if the father, why they talking about what the mother's going to do, if the father is not contributing to the child eating in the first place, that's why the child support and the food stamps exist. Let's not forget why these single mothers ended up on the program. Just to say, oh, it's because they had a lot of kids, is crazy. It don't matter how many kids it is. She didn't make none of them by herself. And like, why would you think? I mean, from the beginning, she can breastfeed the baby by herself. After that, we know food costs money. Period. From the cheapest meal to, like, just meals all day, every day. And then you talking years, for years at a time. So if a woman is getting housing, that's going to help her contribute to the refrigerator more. Let's just put it in terms that people can understand. What is the person's income? That's what that comes down to. You're just saying get a job. Okay, even when you get a job, how much are you getting paid? How much are your bills? What area do you stay in? Where to be? Like, what's the cost of living where you stay? All that. You can't just use the same narrative on everybody. That's weird. We all know rent, lights, laundry, because some people don't even have washers and dryers. Everybody living situation is different. They got to go take their clothes somewhere. Them quarters, you might pay $20 just for one person clothes. All they bed sheets, curtains, towels, bath rugs. $20 at the laundromat for one person. So you know for a family, you probably spending $40. We talking about the reality cost of living these days. I when I used to have to do it like that, I try to find places with free dryer. Like I just always been blessed to. They can call it loopholes, whatever they want to. They have whole legal laundromats with free dryers. It don't matter who mad about it. It's starting to seem like people just want to see people life hard, like see how they think it's cool to see people in modern day times create, because it did kind of become a trend for people to start the van lives and living on the road and converting campers and buses, and people are into that, but that don't mean everybody trying to do that. They want to see all the creative ways that people can come up with. Then if it's something against the taxpayer, they feel like it's against the taxpayer. I didn't mean to say is, if they feel like it is. That's low enough just watching how a person, how is they surviving? That's crazy. Or especially, okay, because if you know they get food stamps, why are you still asking how they surviving? Like, well, I want to know what they eat, what they buy. It's never enough. Why you want to know? Why you want to know that? Yeah, because that's another real part of it too. Some people still spend cash. They only food they ate wasn't just food stamps. That's crazy. Okay, y'all. Just back to what I was saying real quick. Some people spend money. They've been spending money. You think because people get, I think that's what people didn't like saying too. But just hear me out for a second. Uh, just because you get food stamps does not mean you might not still go get a dollar burrito from Taco Bell every now and then, maybe twice a month. This still goes back to budgeting though. So notice, you might have went to Taco Bell like a person who eats out regularly with a job, but guess what? You only bought a dollar burrito and a dollar drink. People just be too nosy. They be too nosy. You bought two items, cost you less than $5. Even some restaurants, they have a whole $5 box. So it's enough in the box. If you wanted to, I ain't saying people do this, but it'd be enough in the box where you can eat some now and put it up and warm it up and eat it later. That's the point of the $5 munchie boxes. At Jack in the Box, Wendy's, 5 for $5, where you get a whole value meal or any value meal. It come with usually enough to eat at that moment, but you might could even save some for later. And that matters to me if you're talking about like okay, well we budget your money, but it looks like you buy fast food. Okay, did that person get a 20% off? Are they using coupons? Was it a deal? Everybody different. They might not get Uber Eats every week, but they might do it once a month. You can't say, see, that person spends money on stuff they don't need and they get food stamps. Okay, now let's really look at it. You buying Little Caesars pizza once a month, I guess that's what, $20 you could have saved. But Uber Eats, for sure, they do promotions all the time. $15 off. Especially if you're a Uber One customer. Don't get me talking about it. It is ways you can survive and save money while you're spending money. Why people don't want to believe that? Like a whole shield of every time you spend $1, you save $1. If you train yourself to get in the habit of that, it ain't people business why you was like that, or maybe you had to be. And it help you get through certain times. Yeah, so you saying it's possible to literally spend $1? How you spend $1 saving $1? Cause you have things called buy one get one free, $2 off, 15. I am serious. Uber do that all the time. If you a regular Uber customer, Uber Eats, Walmart, we talk about them a lot. You can actually earn cash back. Y'all hear me? You can earn cash back every time you spend $1 at Walmart too. So we're just, I guess what I'm trying to say, we're in a time of society by now where you can't just look at what somebody buy talking about they're making frivolous spends. Now I know people do be doing that. But it's really not nice to judge, and like you see a person with a new pair of shoes on, you feel like they don't deserve them or they spending extra money because they get food stamps. It's like, why are you in that person's business? They like, it's a political reason, so it's okay. No, it's not. You just sitting there dry pocket watching that person, but they 9 times out of 10, if they was already getting Medicaid food stamps or something like that, trust me, they're already being pocket watched. Because if you make too much, they want to know about it. Why would they let you stay on the program? Why would you even need it? Like, if you make too much. But they want to look at what you got on. Did you have on some jewelry? Did you change up something? You don't need food stamps no more. Nobody needs y'all help telling them when they don't need them no more. Trust me, when they money right, food stamps the last thing on their mind. Because they too busy eating lobsters and steak tails now. Anytime they get ready. Okay? I'm just reminding people, look at it that way. You kind of look like what? Trying to rush a person off of it. That's what I'm saying. It's like a person, I don't know, depending on how long they've been on it, but I wouldn't even judge that because real SNAP caseworkers and people that have worked in the industry know people could have, it's per case. Every applicant, every application, every family is a new case, bro. Every case is going to be different. If you get struck by a truck and your back is never the same from that day and you can't work no more, that is understandable for a person like that to need EBT for 10 years, bro. Come on now. I know that's a horrible circumstance to give for an example, but guess what? There are real circumstances that happen to people. People done literally got hurt at work because they could have been a truck driver. They could have did some more like work that people don't need. A job, just trust me, a job that they didn't need food stamps. Those type of jobs that you're putting your life and risk on the line, usually you do not need food stamps. You know why? Because when you work type of jobs, they pay way more money. Okay? So they usually don't need food stamps. I had to break this topic all the way down for y'all. They're not going to need food stamps. Let's make that clear. People do get hurt at work. Most workplaces do try to prevent this. Not everybody probably gets these where y'all think and disability, that's another thing. Disability in itself, even if you do get an injury or you have some kind of disability, be realistic, y'all. I mean, the people didn't ask for this, but most people, they said that process minimal might take a year or two or three. Just, I don't know. I heard things about it because I've never like received it personally. Like I heard it's a lengthy process just to try to get it approved. It might get denied the first time or second time. It got to be like serious, serious, serious. Like, oh, this person was. It be some stories like reasons paralyzed, anything reasons that people are applying for disability checks. They have the proof that they are disabled, that they've been taking medication for pain, and they still have to deal with the paperwork part of trying to just get help to get a benefit for what they are going through because they can't go to work. These people been going through this type of stuff. They are another example of that's understandable for you to need food stamps for like some whole years. Now, when they turn around, finally that person money get approved, of course, they probably don't need it. They probably don't need EBT no more. Cause see, now you just got your settlement from this bad accident you had, or you just that's understandable. People be weird. You don't know what a person going through. For how many years to you they been on some that person been on benefits for years. They must be a scam. They must be scamming it. They buy snacks. That's what people sound like. The whole time that person waiting on a disability hearing. HEARING. Because the hearing is just where they discuss why you think you need the money. Y'all know how they go. And that's just one type of case that a person could be going through. Like a disability, you're literally waiting to be approved for something that actually happened to you. Stuff like that. That's understandable why you would be on food stamps for years. They talking about the people, they're what they say, they're having babies back to back by multiple men. I mean, if y'all want to get in people's personal business like that, you know what I'm saying? More hats off to you. But in my opinion, I wouldn't care if it's 12 different ones. Why aren't they being held just as accountable? You don't get mad at the women that's having them, and I mean, because a human being, you gotta feed them. I just know ain't no woman out here having them on her own. Period. How y'all can't deny that? Like, well, these women are popping out babies, and then they expect the taxpayers to pay them. Like, okay, I heard those strong opinions out there, but I know it hurts for people to hear it. It's been put off. People been quiet about it for too long. No woman, ever since food stamp benefit came out and stuff. Ever since, and people have their opinions like, oh, child support is messing up homes. There are some people that actually believe that. Like, they actually believe that, guys. That's why you see a lot of people, they totally disagree so much with child support and government benefit. They want absolutely no parts of it. Okay? So how have those people been having to eat? You see them it's really sad. You might see them get locked up for trying to make quick money, fast ways. That's an option anybody can take at any time too. Because they just get tired of waiting. They get tired of how I'm going to do it next, how I'm going to do it right, how I'm going to make more money. Even if you get a job, they pay you the basic minimum wage. I told y'all you can still have food stamps and have a job, because if you can prove that your cost of living is a little more than your actual income, these are the EBT actual real educational facts. that you're getting here tonight on this live. That's just how it goes. It always have to go with income. Ain't no way you know you got assets, money, all this stuff, and you that would be the last thing on your mind. Like, oh, let me go get some EBT benefits. Let me go get on cash assistance. Let me get some Medicaid and let these people still pay my medical bills. Though you have all this money to get brand new teeth, anything you want. Why would you need Medicaid or food stamps or anything like that? Man, it's been real out here. It's only getting realer, y'all. That's what we're saying. Buckle up. But I was making a joke, but I'm serious. To ask people, oh, what they gonna do now? That's crazy. You just seen women, don't underestimate them. You just seen them survive the COVID-19 pandemic just like everybody else. Several weather disasters. We've been seeing women survive things. Like, maybe that's just a distraction to, like, yeah, everybody sit back with us. Let's see how the women do now. Like, where is this coming from? Yeah, the woman can feed her baby probably the first 6 months through breastfeeding. Or I guess that's what people have to resort to if they did have to think long term in case there are no EBT benefits in the month of November. It's great to see people pull together because you're talking 1 month versus how much longer. You see what I'm saying? Right after Thanksgiving, you got a whole nother holiday. Then you got a whole nother holiday. I guess the holidays, people finna see that. Like, what do they matter when people's like survival and they gotta break down every dollar now just to, you know, just to make sure there's food and all the bills paid. I just say it's unfortunate for that group of people because uh that's just like out of nowhere with no warning. Like the last only thing EBT recipients heard is that y'all might be cutting off food stamps. Oh, cutting off people being able to buy snacks with them. Okay? Whatever they said, sugary items. Okay, so you saw the people relax, like it wasn't really much. You didn't see people going the whole protest about it or nothing. Like it looks like people we were trying to get with the program. Like okay, it wouldn't hurt for people to eat better, or okay, at least people could still buy food. Like, what do you mean? They don't have to have sugar drinks and sugary stuff, but at least they would have food. Come on now. Now you just said, well, it might not be no food. We gotta shut down. And if people wasn't thinking about it, I'm reminding them again. If those tariffs come that they talking about doing, instead of taxes on everything, because that's what I think this whole thing is probably really coming down to and about, that was going to increase food prices anyway. Those tariffs and stuff is changing all over the world. People are literally right before our eyes, like making brand new, I don't know, like world changes right now when it comes to who they trade with, who they do business with. Everybody is literally in that business of maybe the bigger people. You even seen a rapper recently, supposedly he's engaged to a princess, all kind of stuff going on all over the world. And that part is a big part, just like whole financial decisions too. Like some people in some countries, they've already full blown switched to Bitcoin. Like they might not even accept just paper currency anymore. That's been changing, right? Why everybody distracted by whatever they want to be right now. That's a big deal. Like, did you ever plan to travel one day in your life? It's nice to know that in some places you go, they ain't even taking that kind of currency no more. So People now saying, get ready, changes are happening. Bro, these changes have been around us. People said, oh, they're trying to hide it, cover this and that up. Not really. I make my jokes because, like, if they make us, the people feel like they can't hide because they lower people. I don't know, if you more in the spotlight and more money, how are you hiding? That's crazy. They had that one viral TikTok. I think it was just fun to people. They had a conspiracy about what if people had to eat other things, and what if mermaids were real and people were eating those. I couldn't imagine it. Like, hey, you want some mermaid salad? It's crazy. Like, no, because we'll eat other life, like cattle and meat and fish. But no, I wouldn't want to, like, personally choose to go as far as a mermaid. Like, mermeat, I guess that's what they would call it. It's funny how in SpongeBob they have a mermaid man and barnacle boy, right? Because he's just a part of the sea with them. But it's cool. I just wanted to be a part of the generation that actually spoke up about this as it was happening, because there was very well a time too when food stamps came out. It wasn't like, oh, we're just doing away with the new way. Some parts of this, it's just like you have to be wise through the transitions. Or even if you're getting, I guess, geared up to, it's just like, what are those bridges over water too? Because disabled, pregnant people, people that are laid off, especially these days, if you know there's been an increase in layoffs, now is not a good time. That's just the facts. What, no, regardless of how you feel about women with children and who have and how many kids and what they bond with their EBT, there's been an increase in layoffs. Don't take the spotlight off of that. It don't matter if it didn't just happen to each and every one of us. It's definitely people out there that it's been happening to lately. I guess that's a form of being fired, but it's just called laid off. Like, okay, so let's just say the average person gets laid off. You can easily, I ain't gonna say easily, but you could put yourself in the energy like, I'm just gonna apply for work then. Like, not even linger in the energy of being distraught or waste time being worried. Just immediately go ahead and start looking. Okay, even through a period like that, you might be waiting on your very last paycheck from that last employer because you just got laid off. You're gonna need time to find the new employer, especially if it happened out of nowhere. Like, you didn't even expect it. You're gonna need time to find a new employer. Then you need time before you get paid at that new employer if you get hired, because the interview process is real too. The interview process is very real. So if you get hired, then you need time to get paid. Then when you do get paid, that's just your first paycheck. Like, it is levels to this. And that's just one way to go chase money if you need to feed your family. But it's a fact, some of these jobs, especially if they pay every 2 weeks, like, I've been lucky where I start in between periods. Like by the time I start, I just happen to come a week or something before they got paid. So you end up getting paid with everybody. Like, sometimes it happen like that. It might be a smaller check because you just started. It's just 2 days or 1 day, whatever it is. But you end up, if your first check was everybody else, like, norm, but yours was less because you just started. It's going to be like that for people sometimes. That's a whole totally understandable reason to me. How you know that kind of person ain't lazy? They just started a job. A person without a job ain't lazy. You can't just call them, oh, you saw a person during the season of their life. You thought you knew, I didn't see them go to no job. And some people in uniforms ain't even really that. That's what the world we living in today. But you saying you have to see that and some more stuff. Just proof somewhere. Like, if you working, where's the money? That's what most people get out of working. A paycheck. So anyways, that still goes back to food stamps and all that. Because if you are making too much money, you could be working a whole lot too. It depends on how much you're making. I'm a good candidate for this topic as well because like I was saying, there's levels to it. I've worked on all kind of different levels. When you say work, I guess, but minimum wage in some states used to be, it is what it is. Like 7.25 if I'm not mistaken. It might have been lower than that, but I think it was 7.25. But don't worry, that was probably 15 plus 13 plus years ago, maybe 15, 16, close in there somewhere, maybe even 20. Minimum wage, 7.25. If you get a raise, I worked at a job where you can actually get a raise if you pass the, like, not just the inspections, but like they would do like I forgot what those are called. Not like surveys, evaluations. Kind of watch you at work. If you pass every check with a good score on your job evaluation, you can earn a raise like that with some companies. That matter to some people. At least you know you can stretch, especially depending on how often the evaluations are. Like you got an opportunity every 6 months or every 3 months. If you pass it, so that actually kind of more motivates your team or your employees to want to do a good job. Actually, they know they can earn. Oh, I know they're gonna do evaluation soon. Or let me already be learning my position as well as possible because that is an opportunity, right? You already got a job. You might not be making as much as you want to, but you can keep passing evaluations to where you get an increase, right? People might just think you make what you make, but they don't know that. You get an increase every time the evaluation, like, oh, yeah, you did good in this quarter. We checking this, we checking that. Okay, you earn a 50 cent, 25 cent raise. Maybe to some people that ain't even much, but it made a difference. I started to see it later. Uh, a 50 cent raise, that's cool. That's gonna really motivate you. Like, oh, we can do this every 6 months. That'll make you want to stay at a job a long time. We understand stuff like that. But I was saying it ain't nothing wrong to any time continue a search to look for one that pays that's gonna matter to people today. It doesn't matter if they don't like it. Things cost more today, they probably are even gonna increase. We hope to actually see more pay increase. What is that called? Minimum wage increases here in the near future. For sure. And maybe even more funding for businesses to help entrepreneurs as well. We had SBA and other big, well-known, and it's never guaranteed. That's the thing about that type of help for entrepreneurs. That's a whole nother topic. Uh, but see, that helps to filter into the economy too, like them investing money, making money back, being a service unto the world somehow. So we do love our small business owners out there in the world, because we don't talk about that enough either. Like, it might be those too, and how reporting income and stuff, like they might look at it like, well, if you're an entrepreneur, why you need food stamps? That's crazy. That ain't nobody business. what the fact is, if you're not making over a certain amount, and why wouldn't a person want to do that? Why wouldn't they want to do it though? They want to only stay at the level that allows them to get that. Like, I feel like it's great for people, but it's not that great. If you have the opportunity to, I totally agree with that. Uh, Chase more money, leave that benefit to people who can more benefit, like a whole. Somebody just could be in somebody else out there. You're one of the less people on it. I always argued there was a better way to look at it, or when a person is already so far, depending on the period or season of what they had going on, when they can show, uh, okay, actually investing in this person, giving them this job, or giving them this, giving them a chance, can actually benefit them and me, I guess. Cause see, pay do matter with some people. Even as an entrepreneur, there are some out there, maybe business owners that have periods where, because that's not just your business. If you're going through something personal, of course that affects your business. But that would be like a separate entity, but it's still the same thing. You know, it's just different. That's a whole nother topic. Uh, for sure. For small business owners, like that's your business, but you're still you, of course, like your personal self. Like, what? Yes, you should be the face of your business, or you might have a face of your business and all of that. But usually, the business owner or wherever it started, whoever over everything, like they have a life too. It don't just be with anybody. Work, 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 work. Even slaves get rest. I'm telling you. So for business owners, it's the same thing. If they create their own schedules, whatever they got going on, whatever kind of business they got, if they make over a certain amount, for sure, even a business owner, they cannot apply for food stamps. What do people don't understand about it? If they are a business owner and they going through something and they getting food stamps, so what? I said they need more stories out here of people that have actually it helped them elevate somewhere, because I know they exist. People didn't just stay on it for years and choose that, because it is an income thing. Like, over how many years a person income didn't change yet? They did say great things don't happen overnight. You can't just look at people like, oh, they're getting the money. Some people prefer fast money. It is what it is. It don't always have to be a bad thing. Fast mean different things to people is all I'm saying. Like, some people get paid bi-weekly, weekly, salary once a month. Some people get paid every day. It depends on what their work is. Some people probably get paid all day. Like, they get paid all day, every day. Everybody level of work and how they get paid is different. We must understand this. You're not getting a whole bunch of money and you receive benefits, of course. But I feel like if you was talking about the pandemic time, which could have been 2 or 3 years at a time at one point, uh, a lot of people was getting EBT during that time, for sure. Even extra boost. That's what they called it at the time. Extra boost. Anyways, I just thought we would call this EBT, like educational segment too, like just so people have more awareness too. Because maybe it's not for you, because it's not going to be for everybody. If you make over a certain income, you're not going to qualify. It's always been like that, bro. From what I've understand, always. Before it was called EBT, it was just food stamps. Okay? For real, y'all, they was just called food stamps. They said there was like some paper cards or something at first. Then they have a debit card, and the rules and regulations and stuff are just different in every state. It's always been like that. I told y'all some places they can do whole random drug tests. They been started that. So and they was doing them at some shelters years ago, depending on where you were. So, and they had their reasons, I guess, that they feel like, yeah, we're gonna start doing this to the homeless. Uh, they always with these type of assistance, people even take it further and like, I guess, want you to feel bad if you get it, because look at the type of comments people will say about EBT recipients. They always felt that way. They just feel like one scared and like, oh yeah, 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 this and that about EBT recipients. It's just funny. It's just funny to see people opinions later. If they turn them back on or not, it's still good for people to know. Like the main goal is for you to make more income. They say they agree with this. Why wouldn't people agree with like doing it with their life unless they have real life proof of, like I said, a disability or some kind of blockage that makes sense that's blocking an income? Because you're not going to qualify if you make too much money. Not everybody that gets those benefits. I don't know why that working girl that said she was paying with Klarna, I was wondering with her story why she couldn't apply. She probably didn't even know. That's what's crazy. I hope somebody told her in the comments, because I don't know how long ago it was when I don't always comment on everything. I wanted to tell her, like, comment on her, like, have you tried to apply for food stamps? I wanted to say that, but I didn't even comment on it, because if you're a college student, she probably felt like she probably had never even heard about it, because she didn't have kids or nothing. She was like saying she was already paying for her groceries like that. Cause dang, you ain't even paying probably all you probably paying college debt, and groceries is important in that situation. You might have a roommate, whatever you got going on, but you still have to take care of yourself. So you don't have to have kids to like kind of know what that's like. Some people have pets. I don't think you could do pet food with food stamps. I never really looked that up. It's an interesting thing though. I don't think they accept it. But I know like community centers and food banks and stuff, they usually try to pass out like food for pets and stuff too. That's what it comes down to. It's like when you affect the food, it's not just the people, it's the animals and stuff too. Here you go. In case you're sleepy. Thank you guys for tuning in. At least I got to because I feel like I had to chime in on that topic that's trending right now. about these things, but it's just so many in between other circumstances people could be going through that those benefits definitely help. And it actually, it's kind of a good thing. It helps you more, it puts it more out there, like the real reminding people again, like back to reality. Like it's not just you out here. Like yeah, people have been receiving benefits. Like I guess they know already, but it's just crazy that people opinions, because it's not just taxpayers that help contribute to that. It's whole parents, whether they have a job or not, they might be required to make child support payments that also help contribute to payments. Like they put in percentages towards that. They might take out of the payments that go towards those payments that a household could receive. Those are just the facts about it. Not everybody has that type of agreement, but it is interesting. It's like a part of that I wondered. I was like, do people know that when they take out of that person, when that person is contributing their income to their child support payments, which is usually court ordered. Food stamps have nothing to do with it, but they tell you at the beginning it can, depending on like what's going on with it. That is a fact about it. Lately, they're just like, what the people gonna do about food and stuff? Then it's just for 1 month. Even if it was for 1 month, it would show you a lot. It shows people that already it'll affect a lot of people, because some people get their payments at the beginning of the month through the first week of each month. They was gonna see on November 1st. They was like telling people, "Oh, go ahead and prepare, because these might actually not be deposited there for people after Halloween, because that's exactly when it is." Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button before you click off of our live tonight, and we'll be back with another insightful topic soon. Thank you guys. Happy Wednesday, October 29th to you guys out there, 2025, and we'll be back soon.